Thanks to Lexar for sponsoring this video. Whether you're capturing photos, videos, or transferring files on the go, you'll find the perfect solution from Lexar's award-winning memory cards, readers, and solid-state drives. What's good? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. There was just so much going on this week. Apple is worth $2 trillion. iOS 14's 5th beta drops, and the Fortnite versus Apple battle, it ain't over, but Apple, they just put down the hammer. But you know what? Let's start off with Apple becoming the first publicly traded US company ever to be worth $2 trillion. That's $2 trillion. Now, they first hit the $1 trillion mark 2 years ago, so they doubled that number in just 2 freaking years, and that is insane, especially during the current coronavirus pandemic time where a big part of that increase started in late March, really showing us how much big tech companies have benefited from all of us depending on technology even more while we're staying at home. And remember, Apple shut down a majority of its retail stores and still hit $2 trillion. Now, if you look back at this and you said, hey, no one can replace Steve Jobs, you were right. You know, we were all right. But what's the next best thing? How about making Apple the first US company ever valued at $2 trillion? So, hey, kudos goes out to Tim Cook and the team. And Apple, since you're now sitting on over $200 billion in cash, I'd like to make a few simple requests of my own, like finally improving Siri, getting rid of the iPhone notch, and equipping all of your laptops with at least a 1080p FaceTime camera, or the groundbreaking ability for Siri to set multiple timers. You guys can do that, right? Like, I've only been asking these same things for about 2 or 3 years or more. Or, you know, maybe you still won't because we're sticking around in your ecosystem either way. Like, I know you got us. You totally got us. But $2 trillion, this is a crazy accomplishment. And you know how they keep that number going up? By making money on their services, including that App Store. Now, last week, I really just focused on the Fortnite versus Apple beef because that thing is deep and you can watch that video to catch up on all the details. But what's Apple's latest response to Epic Games? Apple is planning to terminate all developer accounts that belong to Epic on August the 28th. That includes iOS and Mac development tools and hundreds of developers, big and small, who rely on the Unreal Engine for developing their apps and games. They would be affected by this. Now, well, Epic is asking a court to stop Apple from ending their accounts on that August 28th date. You know, I put out a Twitter poll with almost 700 respondents that showed really a mixed bag of responses that you all can see here. Even the video comments from last week's video, they were really mixed as well. For example, Cozy7C said, well, I'm with Apple. People need to respect your platform or get their own. Techie Rock says, I am with Epic Games. And I'm not going to read the rest of that long comment here. You could pause it or something if you want to see it. But Ray, he summed it up with $3 billion companies arguing over who makes more money, basically. And yeah, you know, sure, that's part of it. It's deeper than just that. Plus, you always have to have someone who takes advantage of the situation, like Dream Life Swag, who says, can someone gift me on Fortnite? My tag Dream Lives. Don't gift him anything, but this Fortnite versus Apple beef still has a long, long ways to go. Now, the 5th beta of iOS 14 dropped this week for iOS and iPadOS, and like always, you get a few new tweaks to it that Mac Rumors and others have found. The Apple News widget has a new taller widget size to display more stories, and it won't fit on a home screen page because it's so big. That's what she said. There's a new pop-up window for widgets that asks if you want the app it's from to use your location data. A new interface for handling exposure notifications is in the 5th beta, but it feels like it's coming way too late since, in the US at least, we're kind of beyond controlling this coronavirus thing anymore. Now, for those special picks you like to take, there's a hidden album setting to hide the hidden album from the albums list. HomeKit Control Center favorites have smaller tiles and access to more shortcuts. And then the last battery charge level in the settings app under battery has been tweaked to make it more easy to understand. And there's also a new spatial audio demo video found by Mac Rumors in the beta. The feature hasn't been enabled for the AirPods Pro yet, but it's one of the most anticipated ones coming in. I'm excited about it. Now, there is still no release date for the iOS 14 and iPadOS 14, but we did get some rumored release dates for the new hardware from John Prosser a little while back. Now, according to the Apple leaker extraordinaire on Twitter, he posted what his sources have told him so far. Prosser says we can expect to see a new Apple Watch Series 6 and iPad with no specific models given via a press release on the week of September the 7th. Apple's live streaming event for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro will take place on the week of October the 12th, with iPhone 12 pre-orders starting that same week, and they will start shipping the following week of October the 19th. The iPhone 12 Pros, those are expected to have pre-orders in November and also ship in November with no exact dates given yet. And look at that. That is just a beefy few couple of weeks coming up. And that still doesn't include the long-rumored AirTiles or Apple AirPods Studio over-the-ear headphones or the new Apple Silicon Max before the end of the year. There is just so much that could still be coming this year. And a recent rumor has been throwing around the idea that Apple will actually hold an event on Thursday, September the 10th, at the end of the week, which Apple has never done. And that's after Apple posted and deleted an event test on YouTube. Whoops! Now, it doesn't make sense, and it's pretty much been debunked by Prosser, so don't believe the hype there. Some people don't even believe him, but look, he called out Apple phasing out the Beats brand a long time ago, and people didn't believe it then. But it's happening now after Apple officially announced Beats One, their flagship streaming radio station, is being renamed to Apple Music One in a press release. It will also be bringing 2 new radio stations with it, one called Apple Music Hits, featuring favorite songs from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and Apple Music Country that features, wait for it, country music. So Apple Music One, I'd love to hear from those of you that actually have an Apple Music subscription, because I don't. You know, are you listening to their programming and streaming stations or just your own music and playlists? Because I didn't when I had the free trial. I'm just really curious how much you use all that different content they put out, and just put in the comments, because I might be doing it real soon after Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reported last week that Apple will launch a new batch of subscription service bundles called Apple One as soon as October. Now, according to the report, you'll be able to subscribe to Apple's digital services together to lower the overall monthly price. Gurman says there will be tiers. One will just have Apple Music and Apple TV Plus. A more expensive one will add Apple Arcade. Then the next tier up will add Apple News Plus, and an even more expensive one will include iCloud storage. And I hope it's a more customizable a la carte plan, because, you know, that's just a little sketch if you're just putting iCloud on the top tier when that is arguably the thing people need the most first. Like, come on now, don't make me throw out a bad apple if you do that. Apple, that's not cool. Now, the report also says Apple is developing a new virtual fitness class service that can be used with its own app for iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. It would be part of the higher end subscription bundle and have virtual classes offered by companies like Nike. And this is just clearly competing in that home fitness Peloton space, with people pretty much not returning to gyms anytime soon. It's codenamed Seymour, but there's been no confirmation if it's actually named after Seymour Butts. Bundling their services would help drive up subscriber numbers for some of the lesser services, and we've been asking for a bundle from day one, especially once Apple TV Plus came out. The whole bundle idea has been rumored since, 2018, so it's about time we see this thing happen. All right, thanks again to Lexar for sponsoring this video. Check out their new Lexar Professional CF Express Type B card for people who are serious about photography and video. You can capture high-quality images as well as seamless raw 4K video. Designed for the capabilities of next-gen cameras, this card utilizes the PCI Express 3.0 and NVMe protocols and delivers read speeds up to 1,750 megabytes per second and write speeds up to 1,000 megabytes per second to speed up your workflow. Come on now, fast don't lie. Now, it's compatible with the latest flagship cameras like the Canon 1DX Mark III and R5, Nikon Z6, Z7, and more. So whether you're shooting photos, capturing video, or transferring files on the go, you're going to find the perfect solution from their award-winning lineup of memory cards, readers, DRAM, and solid-state drives. Get the performance and reliability you need as a creator by visiting Lexar.com. Lexar, live for the memory. All right, that's going to do it for this video. You know the drill. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop. Plus, if you want to dive deeper in, you can check out my weekly podcast, the Apple Bits XL, where we just cover it all with special guests. So thanks so much for watching. I'm Brian Tong. Take care and be safe. We'll see you next time. Peace and love.